My name is Oshifesolu Adamlare. I'm a mechanic. Welcome to Exxon F1, also known as from Lawon, Colombo, Africa.
So here we are again. Yes, the FP3 and the qualifier. Hey, the FP3 was dramatic because there are some times that were set that you will wonder what is that. But the joy of it is that we are living in great times in Formula One, and unfortunately, the race tomorrow will be very interesting. Now, it shows that some teams that brought their upgrades, the upgrades are really working. If these upgrades are working at this pace, it's going to show that those upgrades will work all through the year with more upgrades coming. But the only team I pitied is the Mercedes. After the whole shambolic situation and show they gave us yesterday, Schumacher, the reserve driver, had to go to the factory, which is just a stone throw from them. Unlike when they were in Canada, they had to come to Britain and fly back that night. But this one, he just had to take a stroll back. Walked all through the night, got their setup. They were a bit better today in the FP3, but it still shows that they have a long way to go. They have a lot of things to do. In the FP3 session, they came up to challenge, but their challenge is not like challenge in Ibadan. They did some pretty good laps, but it still shows that they are lacking speed. They are not where they are meant to be. Max Verstappen did not really get much time in, but he was able to come P8 because from the middle of session, rain started falling and they were losing time and they don't really have much to gain. There won't be rain tomorrow except for qualifying, so they had some little qualifying simulations in the rain to see how they'll fare if rain comes up in the qualifying. But Charles Leclerc, that was all in the garage all through the FP2 yesterday, came out banging times and was able to set a time of 1 minute 27 seconds 4:19 tenths 4:19. That is slang for scam in Nigeria. Now scammers they call 4:19. But the Williams of Alex Albon keep surprising everybody. That Williams came second again, some few tenths away from the Ferrari on 13 laps, just the 13 laps, and Fernando Alonso coming third in FP3. Pierre Gasly doing well, Lewis Hamilton showing his elbows, Carlos Sainz, Logan Sargent, the two Williams top 10 during the FP3. But the FP3 is just, with the rain, we didn't really see much pace and know where we were going to be in the qualifying. There came the qualifying and we now saw where the teams really are and how they've been performing and what tomorrow will look like. The first shocker of the day was Sergio Perez missing out Q3 for the 5th consecutive race and going out in Q1 for the 3rd consecutive race. And I think this is really biting on him, it's biting on his team. Red Bull might say a lot of things, but something is wrong because if you look at the Austrian race, Max Verstappen comfortably, yes, he's driving with so much joy, with so much comfort. He's not stressing but because he's winning, but that comfort should show in the way he was able to overtake the Ferrari in Austria and in the way his teammate was fighting with the Ferraris. You understand? It is something you need to look at. Something is really wrong. Is either somebody is telling us lies or somebody is hiding something. I think Red Bull, I'm not calling them out, I'm saying the truth. Red Bull are hiding something from us. It's either they're sabotaging somebody. We will say it is true that the driver that found pace last year, though he had shambolic times last year, he was able to help Max win his true first championship, which was the second championship last year, and helped him in his first season with the Red Bull. No matter how his pace drop or whatever it is, with that pace that the Red Bull has, this should not be what we should be seeing. But he qualified 16th, he was out in Q1, and that happened because the track kept on evolving. He was unable to churn out good lap times after the red flag that was brought out by Kevin Magnussen's act. He was able to get the right time. Everybody was just turning up time. He lost out in Q1 alongside Yuki Tsunoda, Zhou Guanyu, Nick De Vries, and Kevin Magnussen himself. Now in Q2, the track has already dried up, it has ramped up. Now we can now see drivers coming out in their true pace. The Williams really gave it all they had. They were really up in there, pushing the times, setting some good laps. But unfortunately, with the red flag brought up by Valtteri Bottas, and we later found out that by the time they were taking samples from his car, there was no fuel in the car, which might cost Valtteri Bottas penalty tomorrow. It might start from the grid. I think Valtteri Bottas will not be the only driver being penalized for the Grand Prix tomorrow. Some other drivers will be penalized. Like 2 or 3 more drivers will be penalized from what we're looking at. Some from yesterday's incident, some from today's incident, and track limit was also observed in the British Grand Prix. Out in Q2 where Nico Hulkenberg of Awesome, who has always made sure he drive the as close to Q3 most times or Q2. Lance Stroll of Aston Martin, Esteban Ocon of Alpine, Logan Sargent of Williams, and Valtteri Bottas. This is the first time this year that all Mercedes engine will be in top 15, and the first time this year that 6 Mercedes engine powered car will be in top 10. That was massive. In Q3, the usual suspects, out-qualified everybody after sandbagging a lot of times. That's Max Verstappen, but he was able to out-qualify Lando Norris, which I have to talk about. I need to talk about the McLaren. Lando Norris's McLaren by 210, which was like a 2-0. So Lando Norris qualifying P2 on the grid. Oscar Piastri, the second McLaren, wearing his own upgrade this week, qualified third. Hey! Problem for Red Bull in Kiki's voice. She will say problem. Red Bull are in problem because the race pace of the McLaren last week was better, was good. Unlike before, they had no race pace. But last week in Austria, they had a good race pace, which showed that they're in the right direction. They were able to give Ferrari a fight for their money. They dusted the Mercedes, as in Lando Norris packed the 2 Mercedes like this, as in roll them like this and treat them like. So I think the McLaren are going to give a surprise tomorrow because they're going to give Red Bull a problem. Now behind the Red Bull, only one Red Bull, behind the single Red Bull at the top, we have 2 McLaren, 2 Ferraris, 2 Mercedes, 1 Williams, 1 Aston Martin, and 1 Alpine. Right. So Charles Leclerc of Ferrari qualified 4th, Carlos Sainz 5th, George Russell out qualifying his teammate Lewis Hamilton 6-4 this season, Lewis Hamilton 7th, Alex Albon 8th, Fernando Alonso 9th, and Pierre Gasly 10th for the Alpine. And this is a stock full powerful podium because we're having 6 Mercedes powered engine in the top 10. One of them has a very good straight line speed. 2 of them are very good cars that have been upgraded, and they keep tweaking every day, and they're getting better by races. And they have a good race pace Mercedes with so much nonsense. And in this race, we can see that the Mercedes qualified about 5/10 away from the Red Bull, which is showing that these other teams are getting closer to the Red Bull. The least team in top 10 qualified a second away from the Red Bull. So it's going to be a tight race tomorrow. Max Verstappen might take the win, but it's an open race. We don't know what the McLaren will be bringing. And I've always said it from the beginning of the season that Mercedes engine is very good, very reliable, sustainable, and very powerful. But because of the themes that are wearing them, they don't know what they are doing. They are confused. And I said at the beginning of the season, go and listen to it. I said McLaren, if they decide to go to Red Bull to buy engine, they will have issues. They should look at the precedent, and they can't continue with Red Bull because the whole team will change, and Red Bull are already grumbling, rules changing in 2026, this and that. Though we know that they're going to perform well, they're going to bring a better engine, but they're afraid of the underpowering coming back into Formula One with Aston Martin, with what Aston Martin are doing now, and with their new company factory that they're building in England close to the Silverstone racetrack. They know that there will be a problem. They can only enjoy this time they are winning. So it will be a bad thing for McLaren to move away from Mercedes, though it will be good for them if they're starting a factory like Aston Martin is starting theirs. But I think it will be a bad thing for them to move away from Mercedes because Mercedes engine is really showing that it has a good power and it will work for them and to help them. The only challenge they would have is how it fits into their car, which is fitting well. They're ahead of Mercedes. Aston Martin has been ahead of Mercedes for a long time. McLaren too are getting ahead of Mercedes. We don't know if Williams are coming ahead of Mercedes very soon, so it's going to be exciting time. But the upgrade they've brought last week in Austria for Lando Norris showed promise, and it showed that they are moving in the right direction. Now wearing the same upgrade for Oscar Piastri, and we can see where they are in qualifying today. It shows they are doing the right thing and they're in the right direction, and shows there is quality coming from that team. They were all happy, and by the second half of the season, the whole grid will be jam-packed, but it already looks like a stolen victory for Max Verstappen. But let's see what will happen in tomorrow's race and how close it will be, or what will come out of the race. The Red Bull they have a very decent race pace, and we can see how that pans out tomorrow. We'll give you the best analysis for the race tomorrow. We love you. Keep watching, subscribe, like, comment. We love you. Bye. Cheers.
We have a new friend in the house. We are in Nigeria here, West Africa. He provides internet for us. They provide the best internet around the mainland, and I know they are still moving to the highland and they are moving all around Nigeria. But for you to get internet on the mainland, contact Fibrad Telecom Limited. They get you sorted out ASAP. The best cable internet on the mainland, fiber, I think they get sorted out. We talk much about them in the course of some of our videos, but contact them, they get sorted out. We love you. If you're a builder, if you're an art collector, if you have a showroom, Rated is the best place to get the artworks you need for your new buildings, for your art collections, for your showroom, for your exhibition. Rated Art have one of the best murals, mosaic works, and different art patterns in Nigeria presently. And it's somebody that you can communicate with, talks to you, you tell him what you want, and he will bring the reality out for you. To contact Friend Rated at, his number is right up here. And you can also go on social media links that are pasted right up here. So check out some of his works. Thank you. Teams Gadget. Teams Gadget is for those of you that cannot easily go to the market to get your phones, your laptops, your accessories. Just place a call through. His phone number is there. It gets you the best. It's your short plug to get you the best phones, accessories, laptops, games, and other accessories for your computer gaming experience. Contact Teams Gadget and you get them for you.